Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Star Report. This is Jason, and this week begins April the 6th through the 12th or 13th, I believe it is, whatever 7 days is from now. It will be a great 7 days. So, welcome back to the report. It's been an intense last 7 days, and so you've made it through. Congratulations. That energy of the new moon, of the spring equinox, and then of April the 4th with that 444 energy really was an intense time of self-reflection, right? And self-reflection over what the energy over just the last couple of months has been since the star report began, which that energy has been the return of Pluto to its position that it hasn't been in since 1776, right? So that idea of global independence, of global revolution, of claiming sovereignty, or that people have the rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and all that good stuff that went along with our lore and our understanding and our prana that we've given to the American Revolution. And so that energy has sort of been really intense. Who are we? What's going on? What do you mean sovereignty? Are we or are we not free people? And so that energy of who are we, how are we sovereign, and how are we individually sovereign, right? We've understood over the arc of that time since 1776 what it means to be a free nation, but that declaration of independence of the individual has sort of gone to the wayside. And so as a spiritual tenant, it's been this really intense energy of how am I individually sovereign from the group of free people, right? And so what do I have particularly going on within me, and what is my desired, and what is my purpose here on the planet? And so that energy sort of carried into this week, which seems to be a lighter week. It seems to be like the energy is lifted. If you're looking up in the sky, though, sometimes maybe you've noticed that the stars seem to have shifted farther than you remembered, right? If you look up in the night sky and you're not looking at it move through, then you're watching those stars and you start of having what will feel like a deja vu or a time shift, where it doesn't feel like the amount of time that you've noticed is the amount of time that's passed. And so sometimes that will feel like that more time has passed as you observe than you felt like it's had. So that's the idea of the intensity of this energy and how much information and flow has come through us over these last several weeks, and especially last week with the spring equinox, the new moon, and the 444. And so that 444 energy is really a nice divine feminine energy. So it's really opened up to have this calmness that we're going to experience this week, this flow state to receive messages, to have time to decide, to breathe and go, oh, okay, now I know what I want, or now I can sort of deal a little bit better because I've had time to breathe. It's like when you haven't slept for a while and you finally get to have a full night's rest. We're sort of flowing in that energy that's happened from the 444. And so today, we're really looking forward to this next week, where the solar sign, or the astrological sign Aries, is becoming more apparent as we're moving into birthdays that have Aries as their archetype. And so the archetype of Aries is what I want to discuss about its importance of this coming week. And so Aries is in the modern understanding been decided or called the ram, right? And so it's just that little V with the little hooks on it. So it's like the little horns of a ram as its astrological sign. And so that energy of Aries is really starting to move into this prominence of calm that we have, right? And the archetype of Aries as the ram wasn't always the archetype. And so in early Babylonia, or in Babylon, there was an understanding that as Aries came right at the spring equinox, when it shifts during the precession of the equinoxes. But back then, when Aries was the marker of the spring equinox, it was understood not as a ram, but as a person. And that person that they understood that to be was the working man, or the paid man, or the hired hand. And so the hired hand was brought in, or the paid man was brought in at springtime because it's harvest time, because it's time to make things new. And so one could understand that is the common man, the everyday man, the person who works for their wages. And so that energy in that archetype moving into the ram is interesting for a couple of reasons. The ram in Roman lore was associated, or Ares was associated with the god or the planet Mars. And so the god Mars in Rome was the god of war. And so there's that energy that there could be a continuation of this revolutionary energy from the return of Pluto. But then there's this other archetype that comes in there with the ram and with just the working man. And that's coming up this week on April the 10th. April the 10th, cosmologically and numerologically, is an 11 master day. So it's a high energy day where there's this really good potential to harness the flow of the universe to create things that are in your master plan that you've decided to do. April the 10th, which is a Sunday, is a good day to do that. It is going to be the last 11 master day till October. So it's sort of your last big ability to have a really huge shift. But also in the Western world, what's happening on April the 10th is Palm Sunday. And so Palm Sunday has a really coinciding archetype energy with the Palm Sunday is when Jesus begins Holy Week by marching into Jerusalem as two hails of the Son of Man. And so Son of Man and the working man, or the hired hand, have a very similar archetype. Over the course of human history, or at least the last 2,000 years, the focus of Son of Man has been almost an honorary title, a title of Son of Man, meaning that you're better than all men, or that it's the one man that's the archetype that we're all supposed to do. But at the time of Jesus, the Son of Man really means a very similar thing to the working man or the paid man. And so Jesus, and just for reference, even if you're not a practicing Christian, in spirituality, in metaphysics, the more veneration that is given to an archetype, over time, that energy starts to pervade the common psyche, or the zeitgeist, as it's called, the hive mind. And so over the last 2,000 years, that this understanding that happens around Easter time with the lunar festival that's guided by the moon, this coming Easter is guided and is in the hive mind, right? So even if you're not paying attention to it, this energy is affecting you. And so this Sunday, as Jesus comes into the shouts of glory as the Son of Man, that energy of the paid man, of the sacrifice, is prominent, right? And so what are we, the energy or the question that's being asked is, what are we willing to sacrifice for this sovereignty, right? And so this is where we've had the space to breathe. We've had this angelic energy, right? Which is just from the Greek word angelos, this messenger energy, right? So there is information and energy and potential that is being poured into us over this last week. And so with that filling of our cups, we're being asked this April the 10th, this Master Sunday, this Palm Sunday, what are we willing to give for our sovereignty, right? And so that challenge is kind of important, right? Are we willing to give money? Are we willing to give time? What does it take to be sovereign? And so this contemplation of this week, while we're having this nice calm energy, the sun should continue to be able to give us, the solar sun should be able to give us information, and probably will still have a little bit of flaring and a coronal hole directed our way. But it should feel calm because we're in this messenger receiving energy. What are we willing to give, and what energy do we have to give to it, right? So sovereignty is easy to claim, but then you have to have the vigilance to maintain that sovereignty. And so this week, we're wondering, what's it going to take to remain ourselves, right? And so is that money? Is that time? Is that the ability to move on from situations where people that aren't honoring our sovereignty, that aren't part of the solution, but are holding us back, are keeping us stuck, or keeping us looking backwards, or not moving at all? And so this week, as we begin moving into Aries as we go towards Palm Sunday on April the 10th. Then we move into just sort of a nice, easy week of deciding what that is and how vigilant we want to be to get the life that we've decided is ours. So pretty cool, calm week, right? I think that's going to be the main focus of the week. So if you need to figure out anything else out, pay attention to the solar weather that might make you feel intense and feel a little bit anxious this week. But the energy overall should be a receptive energy, should be this angelic energy of you are receiving the information that you need to remain vigilant and to give you the idea of what it's going to take to be that sovereign person that this energy of Pluto's return has been forcing us, has been asking us, has been begging us to take. So I hope you have a good week. Enjoy your Palm Sunday, your Aries Sunday, your Everyman Sunday, and that master energy. And may it open you up to what it is and what it's going to take to be the you that you want to be and the you that you can be. And until next week, this is Jason wishing you many blessings.